Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Hello everyone, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Gobind and this is your Channel for Grace. Thank you guys for being here live, and thank you to those of you that are watching the replay. Hello Yoni, hello Abby, hello Chanel, hello Valerie. Welcome into the chat and welcome to mini readings. We do this broadcast every Friday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, and I literally can read your chart. I can pull some cards. We can look at different aspects of astrology, whatever is what you need the most right now, the message that you need the most. We can look at transits. We can look at progressions. Hello, Joni. Welcome in. Hello, Zainab. To get on the list, we already have 4 people on the list, which is amazing. I'm really excited. And but the list is open. Hello, Mama O. Welcome in. Hello, Dawn. Welcome in. So to get on the list, you send $25 to my PayPal, and I'll add your name to this list that I have right here in front of me, and then I'll call your name, and when it's your turn, then I will tell you to post your I'm like blah blah post your question, and Shannon, how's it going? And then we'll get moving. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Yay, I love that. I love that, Mama Ocean. I'm glad that you're here. So how's everyone doing? I forgot to announce on Wednesday that I'm actually having a clearance sale for the Starseed essential oils. So on my Etsy shop, all of the Starseed essential oils are half off. So some of them are like $22 or something like that. So if you've ever wanted one, this is the time to... Wendy, hello. Kimberly, welcome in. Good to see you guys. Thank you, Shannon, for posting that up there. So yeah, check out my Etsy shop, and I'm also getting ready to post new. I'm making new little bracelets. I'm making these cute little Merkaba earrings. Oh my God, with a little zirconian crystal inside. They're going to be so cute. So I'm making new necklaces, making new bracelets, making new headpieces, and what else am I making? I know there's something else. I really want to make some tantric malas, but those are a little bit more involved. But that's exciting, coming up soon. I also want to invite you, for those of you that are new to the channel, thank you so much for being here. Make sure that you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you get notified of when I go live and when I upload videos. There is an announcement as well. I actually was contacted by K Moon. Do you guys know K Moon? She has like a channel on YouTube. It's an astrology channel and also focused on the twin flame journey. And she contacted me to ask if I would be a part of her event. So she's doing an event in a couple of weeks. It's going to be free, live on YouTube on her channel, and I'm going to be one of the presenters. So I'm really excited about that. It's going to be like a 70-minute presentation with a Q&A, and including the Q&A. But I'm going to be, I'm really excited to be a part of that event. So yes, so that's going to be coming up, and I'll be announcing it too if you're on my email list. And speaking of my email list, you can get on my email list by downloading my Free Moon Astrology Guide, which will tell you what your psychic gifts are based off of your moon sign. And then I send out a weekly moon magic report that people absolutely love. It's been kind of transforming. I don't know if you guys noticed, but this week it was a little bit different in the way that I approached how I was speaking of the astrological transits. And the reason is because I've actually been studying this astrologer called Christopher Witecki, and I have been looking into his step astrology system, which I find fascinating. And so doing a slightly different approach and seeing how it works out. You may have not noticed it at all. I know I did, because it's obviously it comes from me, but it's actually really really exciting to talk more about what are we going to feel, and how we're going to feel, instead of so much about all the details of the transits, because that can get a little bit convoluted if you're not familiar with astrology. I don't know what's going on in the chat, but thank you for moderating whoever's doing that. Anyways, I'm glad I didn't even read that. Whatever it was. But anyway, so that's exciting. And also you want to be on my list because this is where I announce things and where I let you guys know all the cool stuff that's coming up. So here's the names on the list for tonight. We've got Abby is number 1. Then we have Sandra. Then we have Yoni. And then we have Zainab. And that's the list for tonight so far. So it's open if you want to get on the list to get a reading. So why don't we just have Abby go ahead and put up her question while I keep yapping as we just prepare. But yeah, I am actually really excited. So tomorrow, and I know somebody else just got on the list, tomorrow is week 3 of the Moon Goddess training. And today I've been like submerged in getting ready and preparing for week 3. We're actually going to be going into the temple of Komombo, which is the temple of the crocodile god. And I just need both people's informations, which is the temple of the crocodile god, and all about facing our shadows. And talk about synchronicities. Like I've actually had gotten an email about, like, can I talk about basically the energy of, like, when you go way too far off the deep end of, or like way on the other end of the spectrum of, like, ignoring your emotions and then becoming indifferent about things, and how that can be a shadow. There's actually a gene key that talks about the shadow of indifference. And so anyways, I'm excited to dive into this topic, but I feel like I'm coming out of the heavy, like, intense preparation for this event tomorrow, and I'm like taking a breath to be with you guys here. So I'm excited. Okay, I'll probably ask you to repost it though when we get to your turn, Kimberly, but I'm going to add your name to the list right now. All right, so let me start putting some astrology information in here, and let's actually transfer this. You guys, I'm so excited. Like, there's some epic stuff that we're going to talk about tomorrow. We're also going to talk about sacred geometry. We're going to start talking about sacred geometry, but the topic of sacred geometry, I thought of when I was reviewing everything yesterday. I literally had the thought, oh, I should just do the entire like geometry, sacred geometry presentation in one day, because it's like if I separate it, it might get a little bit like it might be hard to see the bigger picture. But what I'm realizing is that no, I need to keep it. The original plan was to keep it separated and like weave it throughout the rest of the course. And that actually is the final answer. But sacred geometry is going to be one of the most powerful things to help you understand what is actually the significance. Like, what is sacred geometry? Why is it important for us to understand it? And what does it help us understand about ourselves? Because we have basically sacred geometry within us. And so I'm so excited to have, that's why I'm talking about it, because I can't wait. And there's a lot of connections to some powerful there's like we're gonna see how these things kind of show up in different areas. So anyways, all right, I gotta stop talking, otherwise I can't focus on what I'm doing. Okay, and that's in Glendale. What's the nature of this relationship? That'll help me kind of interpret. Okay, is it Glendale, Humboldt County, or Los Angeles County? Probably LA, but I just need to make sure. It's asking me which one. Thank you, Shannon. I'm putting my different shapes together and listening. Ooh, which shapes are you talking about, Valerie? Good. It's overwhelming a little in little pieces. It gets to sink. Okay, good. That's good to hear, Dawn. And that's what I thought too, because I'm such a savage. Oh God, I just take in information. Okay, that's what I thought, LA. I take in information like give me the whole thing at once, but that's how I learn, but I realize that it might be easier to just take it in little pieces. So we're going to weave it through the rest, which is beautifully woven into the temples and the topics. So that was the original plan. So I'm going to stick with the original plan, because I was like, when you hear the whole thing, maybe at the end I'll do like a recap of all of the things that we learned about the sacred geometry, and I think that's going to be when you're going to be like, mind blown. We're having so much fun, you guys. Well, tomorrow might get a little heavy, but so far. Okay. 6/5, 1982, 32 AM, Glendale. Okay, got it. Sorry, it's taking me forever to do this. New chart. We'll just call it chart. Did we get the answer? What's the nature of he's my yoga partner / friend. Like, you guys go do yoga together? Sorry, I'm kidding. My Gemini mind has to know all the details. 125. You don't have to answer that question. Okay, 1:48 p.m. Okay, here we go. It's funny because I really do get crazy about details, just because I have a crazy Gemini mind. 5979 148. Okay, I think I got it. I think we got it. I got it. The code? The melody to Funky Town. Oh, you guys get to see some of the pictures we're going to go over tomorrow. Look at that. Oh my God. All right, let's do this. You guys got a little sneaky preview. Okay. I know I'm missing a lot of comments, so I'm just going to check them real quick. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, I love that, Valerie. He's amazing when he shares the information about it, and it's according to the Atlantean. We're learning sacred geometry according to the Atlanteans. Oh, I love that, Abby. Okay. Sorry. I'm a savage. We're losing Jai. Visuals. Okay, so let's check it out. That's what I've been doing all day. All those pictures you just saw, dude, like just crazy. I know we are losing Jai. Okay, here we go. Now, okay, so this is a compatibility, but you guys are friends, so I'm not doing this like a romantic relationship, but basically the question is, have you had past lives together? So I will see what I can find about past lives, unless you want me to do like compatibility in terms of like, why do we get along so well? Or that those are the kind of questions you want to answer, but it just feels like what you really wanted to know was about past lives. So I'm just going to kind of run through this in my head. So your sun Gemini, he's sun Aquarius, that's a trine, so that's a positive, like that's a connection, a beautiful harmonious connection. Your moon in Pisces, and he's moon in Capricorn. So he tends to restrict his emotions a little bit more, like he tends to not allow himself to feel, especially with that sun in Aquarius, because what happens here is the Aquarius makes him aloof, a little bit aloof. It's a really good connection to Gemini because it's intellectual connection, and then you have talking about things, and that can be like a really awesome place for friendship. I like that. But the Capricorn moon, it makes it even more detached, for him at least emotionally. So that's kind of interesting. And I haven't seen what else is going on for him in terms of emotions, but so far that's a little bit detached, a little bit very intellectual. And then your moon in Pisces is very emotional, yes, but also compassionate and psychic. So you can read his mind in a way. Also, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. So I think the moons might be sextiling, and if they are, that's a harmonious connection. So you kind of understand each other. And let's see what else is going on here. Let's see in terms of Venus. So Venus is, for you, Venus is in Gemini as well. So you have you have pretty strong Gemini energy. And his Venus, his Venus is in Sag. So oppositions cause like attraction. It doesn't have to be sexual, but with Gemini and Sagittarius, because those are mutable signs, meaning they are very flexible. I need to shut up. Meaning they're very flexible energetically, and they're unpredictable in a way, but they're just like on to the next thing. And so Gemini and Sag can be like a circus show, but it can be a lot of fun because it's like wild AF. Okay. Mars. Let's see. So it's like super fun. So you have Mars in Virgo. And he has Mars in Aquarius. So his Mars is trining your sun and your like Gemini energy. With your Mars in Virgo, you tend to be a little bit more picky. You tend to be a little bit more organized. You tend to focus on the details a lot, and focusing. Being present for you is important when you take action. Like you can't be doing something else while you're trying to do one thing. Yeah, exactly. Right, Wendy. But all that also makes for like, there's really no, like, it's not about commitment, right? Thank you for pointing that out, Wendy. Venus and Sag can be like, it's really hard to commit, but it's really hard for Geminis to commit to. That's why friendship, I feel, is a really good energy for this. His Mars in Aquarius, I think he's very so intellectual in terms of like, how does he go about like having his fun with Venus and Sag, and like being kind of this wild child, and focusing on like having these powerful adventures, is like he'll think about them and he'll make them come true with like his mind. Like he'll just like observe what's going on and be like, yeah, let's do that. And then he'll like kind of maybe focus on how it can become real in the future. And he can be very intellectual in terms of his actions. So he thinks about things before he does them. Like he thinks a lot about things. Okay, so now let's look at the past life stuff. That was kind of general, but the past life stuff, we look at the nodes, and we can also look at Saturn too. And this is where you're going to get like some pretty powerful confirmation here. So you have North Node Leo, South Node Aquarius. So that means that his Aquarius energy is conjunct your South Node. That's a definite karmic past life connection. He has North Node Virgo, which is conjunct your Saturn, and Saturn is the Lord of Karma. So that's another definite past life connection there. And then his South Node in Pisces is basically in the same sign as your moon, which means there is a past life connection there. So whenever you have planets connected to the South Node, so it's your moon with his South Node and his sun with your South Node. So this is definitely 100%. You guys have known each other before. There's familiarity there. This is a very interesting energy, because your North Node is the opposite of his sun. So he might be here to teach you something that you didn't finish learning before, whatever that is. And then you might be here to teach him something as well that he didn't finish learning. And so it's like, to learn to really go into the North Node, you have to process the South Node in the shadows. Yeah. So there we go. Okay. That's good. That's good. She goes, I knew it. Yeah, totally. Thank you, Shannon, for posting that up. Okay. So next we have Sandra. Are you in the chat, Sandra? Where are you getting a new channel, Wendy? Sandra is next. Abby just did the most amazing long distance Reiki session. Oh, that's sweet, Wendy. I love that. Yeah, and of course, like with the karmic relationships, you can totally feel it, you know? It's nice to have the confirmation, but you totally knew it, you know? You totally knew it. Okay, I don't know if Sandra's here or not. Let me see if there was a note. And then I know that, oh, someone else got on the list. Oh yeah, no, we got it right. I have everybody that's on the list. Okay. Okay. So let's just continue on. If Sandra shows up, she did put her astrology information in the thing, but if she's not in the chat, I'm not really sure exactly how she wants me to do this reading. Okay, so let's go to Yoni. Yoni, go ahead and put up your question, and then I'll come back to Sandra. If she doesn't come in, then I'll come back at the end and look at the astrology that she put on there. Okay. Thank you guys for being here. All right, we got Jamie. So we have, well, we're going to skip Sandra, Yoni, and then Zainab, and then Kimberly, and then there's no one. So if you add on to the list, you'll be after Kimberly. Wendy, that's hilarious. Okay, a progress chart reading. All right, cool. Card just fell on the ground. That was kind of interesting. So let's go over here and enter in the information. Have we done a progress chart reading for you yet? Because I only recommend doing those every once in a while. Because it's the same information for a long time. It doesn't change for like quite a bit. Okay. All right, let's see. All right, we got January 28th. 6, 8. 14. Okay. All right. I'll get it in a second. I'll get it in a second. Yeah, that was kind of funny. Oh, I love that, Kim. That's really sweet. So, have we done a progress chart reading? We haven't. Okay, cool. That's awesome. Okay, so January 28th, 1968. Okay. Let me get it. It's the card together, the number 47, and the picture is the Merkaba. That's the image of the card. Why is it hard to see? Sorry, I'm trying to get it. Anyways, there it is. Okay, Merkaba. It's really cool. It's like sacred. It's one of the sacred geometry cards. But I can look that up afterwards, what exactly it means. I think, well, the Merkaba itself is about being here in this moment. Being here, being present, living life, moving through this. So, let us take a look. I got you, Wendy. Let's take a look at what we got going on here for you in your progress chart. All right, so progress sun in Aries. Progress moon in Capricorn. So you're essentially, you are like kind of finishing up the third quarter square of your progress chart. But you're kind of you're at the tail end of that third quarter square, and you are getting ready, but it's going to be a minute, meaning like maybe a year or so before you're kind of fully into the balsamic phase of the moon. So what does that mean? This is actually cool. So the progress chart works through the phases, the energy of the phases of the moon. Having, first of all, the moon in Capricorn, but you're almost, well, you're on the last decan, so you're still in this energy. You're really learning to work with the energy of this Capricorn moon. And you actually have a Capricorn moon in your natal chart, which makes it even more significant. It's like evolving with the energy of this Capricorn moon. But this is what happens in life when we have a Capricorn moon transit in our progress chart. Your concept of the world has grown fast, but the expansive inspiration belonging to Sagittarius now fades as the focus shifts to control the environment. You may feel that your world has become oversized and therefore threatening as a result of the Sagittarian phase. These phases that we're talking about are 2.5 years. Your energy turns inward again and you seek to put your house in order. No new input is required since the new internal furniture, supplied courtesy of Sagittarius, is marshaled into some semblance of order. Fear also belongs here, the fear of chaos, out of which can come failure. Moon in Capricorn is about basically getting things together, putting your life together, putting things in order, putting things in a structured way. It can be a phase where you work on like business and career. You've actually been working on relationships during this time because the moon has been transiting your 7th house. So you relationships and that frequency that we've been talking about with Venus went retrograde right over your progressed moon and right over your natal moon, which means that in terms of relationships and also endings that lead to new beginnings, you are actually really feeling this energy strongly. Making boundaries is also a really important thing, because when there's energy that doesn't make sense in your life, that keeps you from really moving forward into success, which is what Capricorn focuses on, then it resists it. It pushes it away. So this is the phase that you've been going through. And at the same time, you've also been going through the 3rd quarter square, which means that there's an energy attached to this theme of Capricorn. And this is the phase that is called the waning square and has all the energy of the 1st quarter, but directed towards reorientation, the rearrangement of old skills. If the 1st quarter was symbolized by a young warrior using a sword for the first time, then this phase is the warrior putting a new handle on the sword or realizing the sword needs sharpening in some way. So this is what I mean. You are harnessing and honing in on your boundaries. You start to review your life situation. New ideas may start to come, but they are concerned with old issues. Clients in this phase will happily take action and seek action, but it is action that restructures old skills rather than which brings in new skills. This is also a very productive phase. So you've been very, very productive lately. It is a square, and the action implied by the square is coming from the wisdom learned in the earlier phases of the cycle. If the waxing part of the cycle can be likened to growing grapes, then the waning phase, and particularly the 3rd quarter, can be likened to the making of wine. So it's like the fruits, right? It's like what the maturity of it. And it's beautiful that it really matches up with the power of Capricorn, the energy of Capricorn. So that's what you've been working on, is honing down, really evolving, really putting boundaries, really focusing on success. And it has to do with like partnerships and relationships in your life. Those are the big themes that you've been going through in your life. And you're going to be in this phase for a minute. And I'll tell you when the moon is going to enter into Aquarius. The moon is going to enter into Aquarius in November. So that's when you'll start to feel the energy shift more towards a balsamic state, which means letting go and releasing and like making space for the new cycle. And then the focus on everything that has to do with Aquarius, focus on the future, focusing on, sharing your gifts, focusing on, being of service to the world and changing your worldview and how you think of the world. So these are the big, big themes that are going on for you, and that have been going on for you. So you'll feel the shift November of 2022 into the energy of Aquarius. And it's going to be a big shift because Capricorn and Aquarius are they're very different energies. So that's what we got for you. All right. Zainab is next, and I know a couple of people got on the list, so let me check on that. Shannon also got on the list after Wendy. And then after that, it's Chanel. And now Mikal. Which I think that's not really the name. I don't think it's the name you go by. What is it? What's the name you go by? Anyways, okay. Wow. Well, that's 9 people. Damn. Okay. We're just going to go one at a time. So now we're waiting for Zainab's question. Tarot. Okay. What is the question that you want answered with the tarot cards? You're welcome, Yoni. So the card, which we didn't really go over, is about balance. Finding balance, right? The inner, the outer, as above, so below. Finding balance in your relationships, finding balance in your life, in business. That's what the card is about. Literally finding balance. That's actually pretty much the energy that we talked about. So I think that's really cool. Deepa, that's right. That's right. Sorry, I hadn't seen you in a while, and so I forgot. Aloha. Okay. Messages from Spirit regarding my current work situation. Okay. I think it's still open for now. Okay. Let's pull some cards. Thank you, Spirit Guides, Angels, Teachers, for being with us this evening. I would like to ask help clearing the energy of the cards, as well as the energy of me, so I can be that open channel of wisdom and grace and intuition, and these messages to flow through to everyone that's getting a reading and anyone that's watching that might receive something or hear something that is meant for them as well. Satnam. Go ahead, Joan, get on the list. Okay. I usually cap it at 10, so you would be the 10th one. What does Zainab need to know regarding her work situation? Oh, I'm getting some pretty beautiful cards over here. One more, wisdom from the ancestors. Actually, for the wisdom of the ancestors, I'm going to use a different deck. Hello, Harmonia. Welcome in. How are you doing? wisdom from the ancestors, and then we're going to get a sacred geometry as the animal spirit, the spirit of the geometry. Okay. So the first card that we get, the Three of Crystals. I love that it has a B, collaboration and productivity. This is such a beautiful message. So the bees are the energy of collaboration. The bees work together. And that's the lesson that we learned from the bees. Every single bee, I remember my dad, he took a class on bee, what do they call it? Being a beekeeper. And he remembers, he's like, he couldn't believe the structure that the bees have. And then there's another story that goes along with it that I just got an image of. But the bees literally, like, everyone has a purpose. Everyone has a task. And everyone does it with such, like, just autopilot. I don't know, you could call it devotion, you could call it instinct, you could call it just the consciousness of the group. There's a consciousness of the group that goes on there. And that is how bees are able to do it. It's like somehow they know. They know what their job is. Some of them are literally born. They're literally born to do a certain thing. It's actually really beautiful how this really relates to you can relate the beehive to humanity. Humanity really should be like bees. And I don't mean that like we should fit ourselves into a box. I mean that every single one of us has unique gifts that perfectly fit the whole. And if we all cleared our traumas and cleared our shadows and cleared all that shit that we have issues with in our lives, we would be like the bees. There would be like full harmony in the hive. We would have a consciousness awareness that would literally light up the whole earth. You can really think like that's our aim, that's Aquarius energy. Like everyone has their own unique task, but together we make this beautiful like this wave of consciousness, conscious awareness, and it creates the harmony to keep it all moving. To keep like the thing alive, to keep it alive, but in a way that like everyone feels like they're doing they're living out their purpose. You could say that each little bee, the ones whose job is to go get the water and bring it, the ones whose job is to take care of the queen, the ones whose job is to make sure the eggs are okay, the ones whose job is to grab the water that the bees that went to get the water bring, and then take the water to where the water goes in the hive. And like every single bee, right? So all the little bees that they have their own unique, they're living out their purpose. And where they're fully in their purpose, they make harmony within the whole. Here's the other story. I was listening to Richard Rudd doing the Gene Keys courses, and he told a story of how, I think it was him, but it could have been somewhere else. But for some reason, this is coming up. And this has to do with your situation. Both think of both situations as the beginning message in your workplace, right? Here's the other message. They were kids and they were all in school, and there was this, something happened with the beehive. The queen actually died. And not a caste system. No. Because a caste system, it's actually the opposite. A caste system automatically says that there's a hierarchy, and there's no hierarchy with Aquarius. Every single one matters. Every single task matters. Every single purpose, every single unique individual matters equally to the other one. That's Aquarius. That's the beehive. Even the queen can't survive without the little bees that bring the water. Every single task matters equally within the view, from the view of consciousness. There's no one's better than the other. Because if one doesn't do their job, everyone suffers. And this is the example. The bee died. The queen bee died. And this was a beehive that they had at a school. And so all of a sudden the bees were like, they were like everywhere. They started stinging the chickens in the eyes. They started stinging the kids. They started stinging the teachers. It was like fucking chaos. And so here's the message that's coming through for you, is when you see your workplace, what's going on? Is everybody living their purpose? Is it coherent? Is everybody coherent? Or is there something, some piece of it that's not doing their unique job? And so it creates disharmony. It creates chaos at work. What is it that's going on for you? Here's the challenge. The challenge is, this is one of the major arcana. It's the card of awakening. It's about renewal and enlightenment, and it is the peacock. And here's the thing, the beautiful thing about the peacock. This reminds me of a story. I love stories. So Matthias told a story. He said he was having a hard time one day and he didn't know what to do, and he was feeling just kind of down, just like we all do. And what ends up happening is this peacock is like, follow me. And so he starts walking, with the peacock, and it was I think it was an albino peacock, an all white peacock, very much like the one that looks in this picture. And the albino, the peacocks, what they do is the males really will open up and do a dance, like, they'll do this like dance and this like this really cool thing to impress the female. Well, he followed this peacock, and he was like, there's some message here. And when the peacock opened up its tail, he saw all of the tops of the feathers. You know how they look like little eyes are looking at you? And he realized, like, dude, you're not alone. You're being watched. You've got backing. We're here. Like, it was obvious. It was obvious that his spirit guides were saying, we are watching. We are supporting you. We're here. There's a presence. You're not alone. You're not going through this alone. And that's the message for you. And that's the challenge, is to trust that you're also being watched, that you're awakening, right? This is the card of awakening. This is about opening your eyes. So you're seeing something that you maybe haven't noticed before. And so because of that, you may feel like you're outside of the situation because you can see something that other people can't. And so you need to allow yourself to have this awakening. You need to allow, because there's a reason for it, for why you're seeing things, and feeling like there's more going on here than one meets the eye. The overall theme, the king of shell, so the king of water, harmony and integrity. So the king of water, look at this sweet little seahorse. Oh my God, I love this. There's a message here too. And the seahorse is actually, it's the males that give birth. It's the males that reproduce, which is really significant. And so I feel like it's the balance of the feminine and the masculine energies, right? Like the polarities. Somehow this is all awakening. Somehow this is all playing a role in your situation because it's the overall theme. But the overall theme is this. There's something that is looking to find harmony, and this has to do with emotions. So emotions are involved in this situation, but who's going to step into maturity in regards to this situation? And it has to do with who's going to be the mature one and have the real responsible emotional response to what's going on. That's like the test. That's the overall thing. Everyone is being forced to like think about more like feel. Everyone is being asked to feel and be responsible and take responsibility for how they feel each in the situation. This is the wisdom from the ancestors. The 62nd gene key with the gift of precision. The shadow of intellect, the gift of precision, and the city of impeccability. My gift to you. I want you to know the difference between the intellect and true intelligence. The intellect is your mind's ability to think, gather facts, and manipulate knowledge through language. It is wonderful but limited. The more intellectual you are, the less true intelligence you use. The next time you look around you, look with your whole heart. Wow, that's the King of Shells. Take in the essence of our mysterious world deep into your soul, and you will begin to taste the true intelligence. From this place, you will care less about potential humiliation and more about speaking, writing, and inventing with love. In the language of simplicity, you will become an embodiment of precision and transform the world. That's super powerful. And then the card that you got is literally the flower of life, which to me, this is exactly like I was talking about with the bees. It's the web. It's the web of life. It's the thing will not work unless everyone is putting in their part. The web of life it's almost like everybody needs to be connected for the thing to make sense. It is the language of silence and is also the language of light. So that's what we got for you. That was really powerful, and I hope that resonated with you. Zainab. Okay, we got Kimberly next, and I think a couple people got on the list, so let me go check it out. Harmonia is also on the list after Deepa. So here's the list so you guys know. Kimberly, then Wendy, then Shannon, then Chanel, then Deepa, and then Harmonia. And then we'll do Sandra. I still don't see her in here. You're welcome, Zainab. Okay, so Kimberly is next. Let's find out what the cards say. Tanya. Okay, you're welcome. You're welcome. Okay. So let's find out what they want to say to you. All right. Okay. So your Leo's moving in with you, and it is scary. So you want to know what your ancestors say about it. Okay. So the first card is a major arcana. So that's kind of that's a good sign because it's the Temperance card. There's also a zebra here, which I think is really sweet. But the Temperance card is about balance and harmony. So I think your ancestors are telling you that to go into it thinking balance and harmony, balance and harmony, balance and harmony. I can't remember what your sun sign is, but balance and harmony is, I would say, the kind of like the big theme that overarches everything. Okay, the challenge card is the Page of Shells. This is also the frog. The frog is a cleansing energy. The frog it's like a water animal, but it's an earth and a water animal. Like it's born out of the water, and then it spends its life near the water, and it kind of can live without it. But what it means is that it is about a cleansing. That's your challenge, is to cleanse. I don't see it for some reason, Yoni, but I'll have to look again. I don't see it. Check again that you sent it to the right place. And I'll check again in a second. Sometimes it takes a minute to go through. But the challenge for you, Kim, is cleansing. Like, cleanse the emotions, like cleanse the grief. If you feel grief, if you feel fear, if you feel anything that's in anything that's in the way emotionally, this is saying cleanse it. And that's going to be a challenge, obviously, because the fear is here, that this is okay, this is happening, this is real, like we're taking it to the next level. But it's going to feel also, this is also saying that it's going to be a kind of a cleansing for you. The overall theme is the Queen of Acorns. So this is the Queen of Wands. So passion and creativity. So the overall thing, obviously, with fire energy, you're going to get a lot of passion. You're going to get a lot of creativity. If you allow yourself to be in your own creative space, then you'll feel like the magic of what's unfolding. You'll feel the magic, you'll feel the passion, you'll feel the creativity, and it'll all be like this cleansing that brings in harmony into your life. I think it's actually, all of these I feel are really beautiful energies that are coming up. And then you also, with the Page of Shells, you also have to trust your intuition. You need to trust your intuition. When you trust your intuition, you will flow more easily through anything that comes up. The 43rd gene key with the Gift of Insight is your card. So the Shadow of Deafness, the Gift of Insight, and the City of Epiphany. My gift to you. I am here to invite out the rebel in you. The poet, the lover, the mad scientist, the revolutionary. There is something only you can do, something your entire life has prepared for you. It is time to take a risk, to shake up a system, you may make waves, that's okay. Whatever you do, stop listening to the status quo. This is not about venting or blaming. This is about being creative and being open to love, which is Leo. Leo is all about love. You don't have to know where exactly you're headed or why in order to trust your inner voice. As you courageously forge a new pathway, don't be surprised if your timing gets better and breakthrough insights come your way. Dare to be who you are, and you will ignite the creative rebel in others wherever you go. Oh, that's really sweet. That's really sweet. And then you get the icosahedron. The icosahedron is all about reaching out towards the heavens. The icosahedron wants to bring the heavens down to earth. That's why at first it has to reach out towards the heavens. And that's what the icosahedron does. It's got 12 nodes or 12 vertices, and they all point out towards the heavens, towards the constellations. At least the web of the world, of the earth, does. and it wants to bring heaven to earth. And so that's the message, is if you want to bring heaven to earth, you need to look up. You know, looking down won't do it. You need to be inspired by something. You need to look up towards something. What is it that you want to bring to earth from this relationship? And that's the big message, is like to manifest into this reality is like, what are you reaching towards that you want to manifest from this? It's beautiful because Leo energy is love, it's commitment, it's loyalty. So you may have someone who is that way, who expresses those things. Of course, you'd have to look at everything else in the chart to find out exactly what else is involved. But you can have a lot of passion in this relationship. And it's going to teach you to find your own passion, and it's going to teach you to love and to commit, and also to reach for the good feeling thought, to reach for the things that make you feel good. So that's your message. Okay. Thank you. I loved that. That was really sweet. And next we have Wendy. And I think we got one more person. I think now I got it, Joni. Yeah, okay, there it is. Now we got it. Okay. So now the list is closed. So after Joni, we are complete. Cool. All right. Okay, so we're on Wendy, and we'll see what we get. I would say, with that question, can you tell which ancestor? I would say you feel into that. And if you feel a connection to someone, like if someone used to speak this way to you, or if someone used to, if the message reminded you of someone, then I would say that's who you're getting the message from. So like you have confirmation because you have the feeling and the experience of this ancestor. So if it felt like it was from someone that you thought of in the moment, or someone that used to speak to you that way, then it's them. You're welcome. You're welcome, and good luck. Good luck. So I'll tell you guys the list, and then while we're waiting for Wendy's question. So we're doing Wendy right now. We are doing Shannon is right after Wendy. Chanel is after Shannon, then Deepa, then Tanya, and then Joni. And then the list is closed. Shit. Okay, I'll just chat and blab while we're waiting. So, actually, that icosahedron card was really cool. I like how the sacred geometry is coming out, and I've been thinking about there's some really deep connections to sacred geometry and our path and where we're going in life. And I'm really excited to to go over this, to start talking about sacred geometry and to start weaving it in to the Moon Goddess training. All right, tarot reading. Okay. What is your question? Okay. All right. First card that we get, the Page of Acorns, the Page of Wands. Discovery and enthusiasm. What animal is that, you guys? It looks like a monkey / bat. Anyways, whatever this is, I would look it up, Wendy. I don't actually know. What is the animal? If someone can look it up while I'm receiving the message from it. Things have been very emotionally draining, had some losses, etc. Okay. So what's really going on overall, since this isn't the overall theme, but this is the intuition card. So this is like what's going on kind of within you. What are you understanding, or how to understand this? This is that what it is? Can someone look up what it means? What is that? The meaning of that animal? Anyways, discovering. You're discovering something new. You are discovering, this is what I'm getting, is it feels awkward. It feels awkward because it almost feels like uncharted territory. Uncharted. I think Wendy might be on a delay. Will someone post in the chat to check if she's on a delay? So discovery and enthusiasm. So there's something that you're learning, and it's new, and it feels weird and it feels awkward because you've never experienced it before. However, there's also like something inside of you can't hold it in any longer. And the reason I say that is because of the element of fire, right? The wands. And it's the passion. It's like, if you block out the passion, then you will have a difficult time. When it comes out, it's going to come out like, and the body has difficult experiences physically as the last resort. What happens physically with your body is the last message. The message has been coming for a long time. The message has been coming for a long time. I've begun hearing things. Yeah. So the message has been coming for a long time. And so now that the body is giving you the message, that means that it's gotten to like the end of the road. Because once your body starts to experience physical things, it's like it's been pushed away for so long, or it's like stagnated so much. It's been like you've been basically blocking the processing of it, or blocking the healing of it, or doing things for other people like we tend to do, like sacrificing ourselves and our needs and our self-care and all of that for others, that it reaches the expression on the body, and the body says, okay, now I'm going to give you a really, really like obvious message. And that's when the body gets sick. That's when the body manifests illness, and things like that. So, thank you, Joan. Yeah. So it's new and it's uncomfortable. And then the body is saying, if you don't pay attention to this, like there is no other way, right? There is no other way. Like, there is no other route. Like now you have to focus on it, because now it's like materializing in the physical body. It's not just an emotional thing. Now the emotions became physical and they manifested in the body. And that's what illness is. And that's what all of that is. If you didn't know that, this is for everybody. That's what illness represents. Is there's a point in which there can be like I feel like there's two different kinds of things. It's like when you reach a point where you're like going through a breakthrough. When you're going to have a breakthrough, sometimes you get sick. Like sometimes you have, like, for example, Dawn and I got sick for like a whole month. Part of it was like overworking, right? We had been like pushing it really, really hard. And so then the body goes, slow the F down, because I can't like calibrate that fast. So I need this physical experience of like fever, whatever, I need to like recalibrate in my own way. And so because we were like moving so fast and accelerating and doing all of this intense energetic work, the body needed to catch up. That's one way to define illness. And then the other thing that can manifest with illness is basically it's now materializing into the physical body because it has like been ignored for so long, and that's what happens. Okay, so then the second card is the challenge card. I love there's a lobster in this card, but it's the Seven of Shells, so which is the Seven of Cups. Which has to do with choices, which has to do with ambitions. It has to do with, obviously there's, it's like the Seven of Cups. It looks like there's a lot of options, but it feels like there's so many options that you don't know what to pick. Or now it feels like you're just kind of lost in the abyss of things and you're not able to understand them and process them anymore. Lemur, okay, thank you, Chanel. Lemur symbolism is a sign of happiness, playfulness, fun, and positivity. Thus, this spirit animal's presence tells you to stop taking life too seriously. Beautiful. Beautiful. I love that, Chanel. Thank you so much for bringing that up. Yes, I do understand that. I helped my mom after cancer treatment cleanse emotionally. Yeah. So now there's like a choice to make. That's the challenge, is somehow there's a choice to make. You know what that choice is. You know what the options are, but somehow it feels like maybe you're stuck a little bit. The third card is Major Arcana, Transformation. I think this is the Death card. Of course, you get the Death card. Transition and liberation. That's the overall theme. Is like this whole story, this whole experience has been about your powerful transformation. And so it's right, the caterpillar that becomes the butterfly. It's the releasing of the old patterns, habits, stories, and the making space for new ones. It's letting go of the past and moving forward into the future. It's you already have expressed it, experimented with it, you're integrating it, but now the next big thing is the transcendence of it. Like, have you transcended the issue? Have you transcended? Which means, have you learned what you needed to learn? Have you truly like absorbed the message, the learning experience with this whole situation? And if you have, then you will transcend it, and then it'll free you. You'll be free from it, and you'll be able to have whatever interactions, whatever things, without having any attachment or need to be in control of anything, without having any reaction, like emotional reaction to things. You won't really have emotional reactions anymore because you will have transcended the attachment to that thing. I've had dreams about this being... There you go. So it's a theme that's been going on from before this life, which obviously makes it even heavier. Here's the wisdom from the ancestors. The 39th gene key, dynamism. The shadow of provocation, the gift of dynamism, and the city of liberation. I love this. My gift to you. I come to tell you that it doesn't matter how bad your upbringing was. This is fucking perfect. All unhealthy conditioning can be reversed. You can contribute to the field of violence in our world by provoking others or allowing yourself to be provoked. Or you can explore your passions, right? The page of Acorns, and unleash your dynamism, your genius, by simply letting yourself be and play. Remember, genius isn't unusual. It has nothing to do with knowledge or with the mind. It arises the moment you allow yourself to do what you love. It is time for you to allow your horizons and breath to expand. Damn. Your horizons and breath to expand. Whoa, because the breath is our connection to spirit. In essence, this card is saying you, like, don't block your spirit out by constricting your breath. If you provoke anything in the people around you, may it be their creative spark and a deep sense of liberation. That's deep, girl. That's deep. And the sacred geometry card that you get is the Chacana, which I would look up the Chacana, the symbolism of the Chacana and what it means. But however, what it actually means is the understanding of the ninth dimension. What is the ninth dimension? We go from the cosmic mind goes from this one consciousness, this one mind, this one being, which is called unity. When it wakes up from this dream of just being and dreaming, it opens its eyes and it realizes, oh my God, I am now observing myself. What am I? I am something. What am I? Asks that question. So it splits itself into two perspectives. And it now sees itself from here and here. This duality, which is essentially connected to the law of polarity, which is dark, light, all the polarities, all the opposites that now create realities because they begin to manifest and force things to be born. Because out of duality comes Trinity. So the Trinity allows for things to be experienced in the third dimension, which in essence has to create like a space and time for things to be experienced, which is the fourth dimension. So we live in the third dimension, but we have an experience of the fourth because we have like time and space. So what happens is from that dimension, you integrate this awareness and you're able to watch everything from above. And that watching from above is the fifth dimension, which is the observer, being able to observe everything, all the experiences that you've had, past, present, and future. When you realize that, oh, look at all these things that are going on, that I can see them like the eagle. We're going to talk about the eagle and the scorpion tomorrow. You see them like the eagle. You see it from the perspective of the higher self, but you need to realize that in order to really find the light, you need to dig into the darkness. And so you ask, well, where's all this coming from? And it creates the sixth dimension, which is kind of like the darkness. It's the yin. It's the sacred geometry. It's everything that it's the creators of reality. It's what manifests those things that you're observing is being created by the sixth dimension, the architects of reality, which is according to Matthias Stefano. So what happens is now you are the observer and the observed. And when you have this moment of illumination where you realize, holy shit, I am all of these things. There's these laws that my life is bound by, these universal laws that I am bound by, and I don't understand them, and that's why I create chaos in my life instead of harmony. That's why I create from an unconscious state of being instead of a conscious state of being. So what happens is you're like, whoa, you suddenly become illuminated by that awareness, and you enter into the seventh dimension, which is kind of connecting you back to that essence, that beginning that says, whoa, like I am all of this. I am both the light and the dark. I created this and I'm watching it. And so then the eighth dimension, the toroid, basically opens up and starts to show you that there's many, many, many infinite realities. You can take it in any direction. You can manifest really whatever you want. All dimensions, all realities, all timelines, all the possibilities. And so once you realize that there's all these possibilities, that's when you get that bigger awareness of I am all of them, and I'm also a creator. And basically the reality of all of it is that I am. And there is nothing else to that sentence, is I am and I exist. And then when you have that awareness, that's when it takes you to the ninth dimension. The Chakana is basically, this is the 2D image, but in the 3D image, I think it's like 33 cubes. I think it's 33 cubes that basically, like, they show us how to go into the center, how to go from all the 8 dimensions into the center, which is the ninth dimension. When you reach the ninth dimension, which is the Chakana, what happens is you realize that you are all of it. You are both your idea of what's going on and the projection that you're seeing outside of you. Whatever is inside you is outside of you. And so you realize that what's outside of you isn't really the reality of it. What is real is your idea of what's happening. So when you realize that it's your idea that is the reality, that is only being projected out into the world, then you enter this like kind of mind-blowing realization that I am all of it. I am both me and my mom. I am both this and that. And in that moment, you also come to the realization that, like, there are no emotions in this place. It's neutral. There's no duality anymore. There's none of that. There's just presence. There's just consciousness. There's just thought. There's just mind. So what the realization that, like, the reason why this card is coming up for you is because it wants you to remember that you are all of it. You are all of this creation. So instead of separating yourself and thinking that's outside of me, or this happened in the past, and so I instead of allowing at least that feeling of separation to be the most important thing, you start to release that and actually just allow yourself a moment to feel the totality of everything for just a moment, because we can get glimpses of that space. We can get glimpses of it, but we really can't, right, like, be fully in it, because otherwise, like, not, at least from the third dimension, we have access to those glimpses. We have access to that divinity. It's the 3, 6, 9. It's the third, the sixth, and the ninth dimension. So when you know that you can access that place, you know that you are a special being. So what do you want to be creating? What do you actually want to be manifesting? Do you want to is this really what you think? So what you think is going on is what you're creating outside of yourself, because it's a projection outside. So if the story, if the belief, if the idea is, this is something that I have been burdened with and I'm going to continue to be burdened with it, then you will continue to be burdened with it, because that's what's going to manifest on the outside. The outside will project it to the inside until you realize that, what if I changed my idea of what this is? Or what if I realized that I don't need to heal, like I don't have to I don't have to keep holding on to it. I don't have to keep holding on to it. I can actually allow myself to fully feel all of these negative emotions that come, all the anger, all the fucking rage, all of that, all the frustration, all the anguish, all the feeling of being empty, even the indifference, like all of it, all of the fears. If you let yourself feel your fears, you're actually going into the realm that is the key to navigating yourself out, to like actually releasing. That's why the death card, the transformation. You have to die in order to be reborn. Like you have to let those belief systems die. That's why they talk about the mind is the most important thing. So in order to heal this situation, you have to, take care of yourself. You have to like really think about what it is that you are creating, meaning what are your beliefs about what's going on, because that's perpetuating the situation. Thus, your body is saying, I need you to pay attention because something big is happening here and you're not paying attention. And so I'm going to manifest this physical illness or this physical situation so that you have no choice but to deal with it and look at it. Yeah. Okay. Wow, I kind of went off on that one. All right. So Shannon, Chanel, Deepa, Tanya, and then Joni. That was intense. You're welcome. Oh, we love you too, Wendy. We all go through it. And we all deal with it in different ways. It's just, are we moving through? Because a lot of people think they're doing like shadow work, or they say they're doing shadow work, but they're not. Because as long as you have something that you're ignoring and pushing away, you're not doing the shadow work. You're just avoiding it. So the longer that we avoid situations, the more tendency that they have to manifest in a way that's so obvious that we can no longer ignore it. And if we keep ignoring it, then our body will just keep getting sicker and sicker and sicker. And that's the reason for illness. Is like the body is a messenger. If you block your own divinity, because you are a manifestation of the divine, if you block your own divinity, your body is going to be blocked from that divinity. So it's going to start to malfunction. That's why you need to look at yourself and honor yourself as a temple of the divine. And in the temple of the divine, I was talking about this. When was I talking about this? I don't know. You don't take a shit in the middle of your sacred temple. You don't ignore, right? The cleansiness, the cleanseness of your temple. You don't ignore those things, because if you do, you're basically cutting yourself off from your own divinity. And here's another thing, is that what's important? I guess this would be for everybody. What's important to you? Like what's the most important thing to you? What you focus on will tell you what you think is the most important thing right now. Like that's the manifestation of what you're actually manifesting. Oh, sorry. Shannon, go ahead and put up your question unless you already did. You already did. Oh my God. I'm blabbing on and on. Okay. I'm telling you, I've been out of it, but like in it, like doing all of this preparation for tomorrow for the Moon Goddess trading. So it's just like, phew. Okay, I'm really feeling the connection to Rockstar Dude. What's the potential for this connection? Okay. If you want your kids to not think that their gifts are burdens, then you need to stop thinking that your gifts are burdens. You can only lead by example. Satnam. Okay. And if you focus on like the negative aspect, like what aspect of that are you focusing on? Are you focusing on the negative aspect of the gift or the positive aspect of the gift? Or like, are you focusing on one of the polarities of it, right? Because what you focus on, you manifest. If you're focusing on the negative aspect of the gift, you're going to manifest the negative experiences. If you're focusing on the positive aspects of the gifts, you're going to manifest the positive aspects of the experience of the gift. Yeah. Otherwise, obviously our children learn by experience, by watching what we do, not what we say. And they'll internalize what you feel. If they have the gift, especially of sensitivity, they can also feel what you feel about it. So it really is not even, it's not about your kids. That may be the most important thing, but the most important thing should be for you to know that your gifts are not burdens. Because the minute you let go of the idea that your gifts is the burden, is the minute that you'll start acting in a different way about it, and most likely you'll start manifesting the positive aspect of the gift instead of the negative aspect of the gift, and then everyone will see that. And then they'll be like, oh, this can actually be fun. Like, this can actually be amazing. This actually turns into an empowered experience, right? Instead of something to be afraid of. Oh, it's all right. No worries. Sometimes I see that you see me stepping off my path and give me gentle nudges to straighten up. Yeah, I'm kind of gnarly, you guys. I'm kind of gnarly. I'm getting gnarlier. All right, here we go, Shannon. 5 of crystals. Okay, so I like this. I like this. Persistence and new possibilities. Is this the person that is kind of being persistent with you? But look at this. This is even better. The little ladybug. I love that. So this is like, ladybugs are good luck charms, right? So I feel like when I see a ladybug, I feel, like it feels good. Like it's like a little magical gift, right? It's like something that comes in and says, ooh, something really cool is coming, or something really cool is about to manifest. And it's like a good luck energy, right? It's like Jupiter, right? Jupiter energy. So it's expansion too. If Jupiter's coming through, then this is an expansive energy, but something positive is coming through. You have to ask yourself what it is that you want, because there's new possibilities. So being persistent towards manifesting what you actually want, right, out of the relationship is going to bring that out of it. The challenge, that's funny. This is really funny. The 9 of shells. The Nine of Cups, gratitude and fulfillment. Okay. So you asked what's the potential, right, for this situation. Why is this a challenge? Why is this a challenge? Because the Nine of Cups is about wishes coming true. And the penguin. Penguins are like survivors. Honestly, like penguins are survivors. Gratitude. So I think this is interesting. Why is this coming up? We're getting two really beautiful cards in kind of interesting positions. Maybe it is challenging for you to find gratitude right now for some reason. Where in your life does feeling grateful for something feel difficult to you? That's something that you're being challenged by that some way. Usually we look at the Nine of Cups and we're like, this is amazing because I can make a wish and it'll come true. Is there a fear to making a wish? Is there a fear to like manifesting something? Is there something holding you back from like the full like expression of the gratitude is what I'm thinking could be the challenging aspect of this. The Three of Acorns, the Three of Wands, foresight and exploration is the overall theme of this card. But I love how this giraffe is looking at you. The giraffe, the cool thing that the giraffe has is like the eagle, it's like that higher perspective. It sees things from up above. It has like a long neck, and the neck represents the throat. Okay, this is interesting. The message that I'm getting from this is there's something you're not saying. There's something that you're not expressing. There's a repression of something. And the reason I say that is because, oh my God, today I was laughing so hard with my husband, talking about people that say they are a certain thing, but they're not. And the little joke I was saying is the Pinocchio joke, like, I'm a real boy, when in reality, like, you're not, right? So for some reason, it's like like when you lie, when Pinocchio lies, his nose grows. And I had that when I thought of the long neck of the giraffe, it's like I felt the same thing. It's like the neck keeps getting longer and longer and longer because it's not, the truth isn't coming out. Whoa. Something, and the throat chakra is the shadow of the throat chakra is repression. So if there's something that's being repressed, it's just gonna, like, the nose is gonna keep getting longer and longer on Pinocchio. This is kind of intense. That one kind of came out of nowhere. Okay. The gene key, the wisdom from the ancestors. Restraint. The 52nd gene key. The shadow of stress, the gift of restraint, and the city of stillness. My gift to you. I come to relieve you of your stress and to remind you that everything in nature, including you, has its own timing and growth pattern. Your intentions are like seeds. If you start something from a place of fear, the seed of fear will permeate the entire endeavor. So if you want your dreams to grow and thrive, just hold a clear intention, which is the Three of Acorns, infuse it with goodwill, which is the Nine of Shells, and trust that your dreams know, and just bow. Oh, and just how and when to bloom. Five of Crystals. Damn. It's time to befriend restraint, practice patience, learn how not to interfere. Let your life and dreams unfold without too much pushing or prodding. And remember, more often than not, growth and transformation take place below the ground, and the greatest seeds take the longest to germinate. What this is telling me is that this situation may take a minute to unfold. That's what I'm feeling. That's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling like this rocker guy's energy kind of feels like this guy's look. And he's here to teach you about patience and to allow things to unfold in their perfect timing. So what I get from that is this is maybe a connection that will take time to really come alive as you learn how to, right, not restrict, but it's funny because the restraint, it's the gift of restraint and patience, but not restricting. It's just allowing the energy to happen on its own timing. I think that has to do with the actual relationship. And then you get the tree vessel. The number 63 on this deck. It's actually a really cool image of a tree that's kind of reaching up into the sky. The tree vessel. The connection feels mature. It feels very mature. It feels like go easy on it. If you go easy on it, it'll unfold in its perfect timing, in its perfect way. The tree vessel is about receptivity. The grace of trees and their ability to receive and record information is one of the concepts this card explores. Like the sacred architecture of cathedrals, the curved geometry of this card forms a window through which light and grace and universal wisdom stream. This light technology offers insights into multidimensional reality and the realization of possibilities that may move you towards conscious evolution. This card invites you to enter sacred space and become a vessel. Clear your energy field of unwanted or muddy intentions and open an unobstructed pathway to the beauty and expanded awareness that is being offered. Realize that there is information and light becoming available to receptive individuals in accord with divine intention for self and planetary healing, and to aid in our shift from duality consciousness to unity consciousness. By opening to your female receptivity, be you man or woman, you provide spirit with a means of bringing forth new information and healing energy. Each one of us has this ability. You have only to offer yourself in service to the universe to receive this flow of light and life. I actually love that. That's really beautiful and powerful, Shannon. Next we have Chanel. Really? Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy that is literally coming out again. All right. Anything I should know about the relationship, or just general what I see? Which one's which? Okay, I guess hers is fair. Okay, never mind. Never mind. That was a stupid question. Okay. 153. Okay, here we go. 14th, 84, 1:53 a.m. Okay, and then the second chart. Okay. row 3. Is it Michigan or Missouri? Sorry. What state are we looking at here? I may have entered that wrong. Okay. Okay. Cool. Okay, let me just make sure I have this right. Okay. All right. So here we go. Okay. So you Cancer Sun and Venus in Cancer she has Sun Aquarius and Uranus Aquarius. They're very close to each other. She's very unique. She's a very unique individual. She's very different than anyone else. So one of the first things that can show up, or that shows up for me, is to allow her to be different in the way that she's different, and to do things in a different way than maybe you think they should be done. She's not concerned too much with like nurturing others. She's concerned about like being innovative and expressing her uniqueness, and it's going to come through in how she thinks and sees the world. So she needs to be allowed to see the world in her own way. She's going to see it in her own way anyways. Okay, so that's the sun. Moon. You've got Moon in Aquarius. So this is why there's a connection between you guys, because you understand that as well. But the problem is that there can be very much aloofness, detachment in a way with Aquarius energy, with emotions. She has Saturn and the moon conjunct exactly at 22 degrees. So even though her moon is not in Capricorn, it's in Gemini, she tends to restrict her emotions. And because her sun is in Aquarius, that even adds more to that, like kind of detaching from the emotions. The Gemini energy, she would rather be much more intellectual. So she may have a hard time tapping into her emotions. This is a lot of air energy, mind energy. And unless she's got strong water, which I don't see that she does, she will have a hard time with understanding her emotions. So maybe you understand your emotions well, in a way, because you have Cancer and Mars and Venus in Cancer. So nurturing and emotions are kind of natural. You tap into them naturally, but she doesn't have as easy of a time tapping into her emotions. So that may be something to help her tap into her emotions whenever she needs it, will help her so that she doesn't get so distant from her emotions that she doesn't like really allow herself ever to feel anything. All right, so what does she truly desire? Success. This is why there's a beautiful connection between you guys because you've got the Cancer energy and she's got the Capricorn energy. She desires success in her life. But it's also what she's learning to heal. She feels like she can't be successful in life with Chiron and Capricorn. She feels like there's something wrong with her, and it might take her a long time to find success because Capricorns take a while to find success. She also focuses on this as like a big part of the way that she thinks. She's kind of really structured, and sometimes she may even restrict herself a little bit too much, like the too much restricting herself. So she needs to be allowed like to flow a little bit more. But she's learning how to heal her her feeling or her insecurity about being successful in life. She's going to need to be with someone who has their ish together. Like she's not going to feel good with someone who's immature. She might find someone and attract someone that's kind of immature, or because her Venus in Capricorn tends to feel like I'm in charge energy. And so people, like if she enters into toxic relationships, what's going to happen is she's going to be the responsible one, and the other person is going to fall into like that other piece of the puzzle, which is, okay, well then I'll be the immature one. So she actually needs someone who's just as mature and just as much has their stuff together. She may even be attracted to someone that's older than her. That Capricorn, the wisdom comes from experience. And it may be through a relationship like that she will heal herself. Oh, she'll totally make it. But she'll have the fear of it because Chiron's right there. She'll have the fear of it. What she needs to look out for is she's like a little bit of a party animal. She also has Mars conjunct Pluto. So she's kind of wild. Like she can be kind of wild sometimes, like out of control wild. And that's interesting because there's a lot of conflicting energies. She's got Mars and Pluto opposing her moon and her Saturn. That's kind of a heavy energy to process. So it's like volatile sometimes, but sometimes it's like like there's an inner turmoil. She has this thing that she needs to find balance with. And I think that's the part of her that might make her feel like sometimes she goes out of control because her Mars in Sag makes her do crazy things, like she wants to go on an adventure. She needs to go and explore though. Like she needs to be able to go and find things on her own. She can't be stopped from doing that because that is how she takes action in the world. So if she has some like kind of crazy, obviously like med school may feel like a wild thing to her. And so like then, she needs to be allowed to go and find out if she can do it. It's through the experiences that she's going to learn the most, especially with her Mars in Saturn. Oh my God, her Mars in Sagittarius. And then because she's got North Node Gemini and South Node Sagittarius, she already has a lot of wisdom. Really, she's here to express it. So the more she's able to express herself and talk and share the things that she knows and has learned and is learning, the more she's going to feel like she's living out her purpose. And that will help you heal because you've got Chiron in Gemini. So you have a insecurity about expressing yourself, and feel like you don't really have wisdom, or you don't have anything to say, or that has been the lesson for you, which you're also learning is also part of your destiny, is to heal that so that you can truly express yourself. She doesn't have Chiron right there. So she's free to express herself. So that's something that she needs to be allowed to do. And let's see if there's anything else that jumps out at me. What's her rising sign? Where is it? For some reason I can't see it here. Her rising sign. Weird. Anyways, that's what really comes up the most. I think her looking at what she's here to heal and what are going to be her challenges is going to be the way to help her understand and kind of move through life. I think that's everything. Okay. So there we go. That was for Chanel. And yeah, exactly. She's going to have a tendency towards that until she finds somebody who's more mature than her. Then she's going to be like, whoa. All right, Deepa. Deepa is next. Then Tanya and then Joni. She'll totally make it in med school. If she's a Virgo rising with Sun in Aquarius, Moon in Gemini, Moon conjunct Saturn, Venus in Capricorn, all of those are a lot of, like, the air signs are the ones that activate her intellect. Saturn gives her the ability to be like very responsible, and the Virgo rising is like she knows how to be organized, and that Virgo is very much the sign of the doctor. A lot of doctors are Virgos because there's so many details that you have to memorize and things like that. And her mind in Capricorn, her Mercury in Capricorn, that is like focus on the outcome. She will be driven by her passion. Yeah, she'll be driven by her passion, and she it'll feel, as long as it feels like an adventure and she gets to go and discover something new, she'll feel it'll be fun for her. That'll keep the fun aspect in it. And then her Mercury in Capricorn will her mind, she'll be able to organize her mind and be very methodical about how she gets through it and processes it. Hi Jai, I'm feeling a lot of new beginning, new energy for 2022. Would that be a progress chart? Can you see some highlights for me for 2022? Okay, let's check it out. When was the last time we did a reading for you, Deepa? Yeah. That's funny, Chanel. June 27th, 76. Okay, I think I got it right. You're welcome. Have we ever done a progress chart reading for you? Damn, Tina. We got a psycho up in here. Okay. Let us, only the moderators saw that. Okie dokie. No, okay, well then we'll look at this. That's crazy. Okay. So here we go. We're going to look at the progressed chart and see what actually is. There's something actually really exciting that I see, and it is the moon in Pisces that is progressed. So you recently went through a full moon in your progressed chart, but now the moon is in a different energy, and it is actually waning gibbous. So let me tell you what's happening in general this year with the waning gibbous, which is basically called the disseminating moon. The harvest is over. That which has not been reaped now has to be left behind. Whether this is a good or a bad thing, you are now at a stage of realizing that the lovely swelling energy of the full moon has stopped. People quite often change jobs in this phase, for all that can be achieved has been achieved from the present pathway. It is now time to examine the crop and reevaluate, to think about the current position, to extract the most from what has recently been harvested. This phase represents the first waning phase of the moon, and thus is the commencement of a more internal, reflective, and productive period that will last in varying degrees for 14 years. Thus, the reason many people change jobs is because they sense that the time has passed when that job or goal could continue to offer a challenge. You are aware of periods when life is growing, bubbling, surging forward. And in the same way, you are aware of the times when that growth stops. Now is the time to use the skills or advantages gained in the growth period by manifesting these in the community. So this is the energy, the frequency that you're experiencing right now. However, your moon in Pisces is a beautiful energy. And it's at 13 degrees of Pisces right now. And that's where I'm looking at it, your progressed moon. The non-emotional, non-personal energy of Aquarius leads you into a drought of deeply personal inner relationships and away from your own feelings. As the moon enters Pisces, this drought is broken. The unconscious desire is to reconnect with your deeper self, the God goddess within or higher self. You cascade into a waterfall of your own unconscious and turn away from groups. Dreams flood into your life and your inner world becomes a fantasy land that is irresistible. The desire here is to become reclusive so that your inner world can be explored. The self can be lost in this sort of terrain and your boundaries become unclear. But recognize that this cycle in turn leads to Aries, the ultimate overreaction to the boundlessness of Pisces. What I want to add to this is that moon in Pisces, progressed moon in Pisces means that you're in a period of your life that is a very spiritual period. You are in a moment where you're experiencing your own divinity. You're having an understanding, a deep, it's a time of spiritual awakening. It's a time that also feels like a completion for yourself. It's a time, this is all of 2022 and beyond 2022, like for another year or so. This is what you're going through. And so you feel this deep, and you've gone through the period of the moon in Pisces that is about yourself. So now you're going through the second decan, which is about your relationship with others. So connections, divine connections, spiritual connections to other people, understanding how you relate to other people based off of what you believe in, your spirituality, your beliefs. You're going through like a deep, it's almost like a spiritual quenching. Like you've needed this. You've needed to find something to believe in. You've needed to find something that feels like I'm not alone. This is not all there is. And Pisces moon gives you that. That Pisces energy gives you that. So when you feel that, you feel connected to yourself. So it's an internal journey. You're also letting go of the big culmination energy of the full moon, but this is a completion period because the moon is going to be in Aries next, which means that you're going to be more focused on action and moving forward. So this is a very kind of internal, divine, boundless time where you get to explore your spirituality and explore your own divinity. The other thing I'll say, and I'll add to that, is that we have a lot of things going on in Pisces. We've got Pisces season. The sun's going to be in Pisces, and it's going to make conjunction to Jupiter. Also, we're going to see, and that's this everything will affect your moon. So expect the next couple of months, especially towards the end of March and the beginning of April, like powerful like downloads, maybe powerful experience like spiritual awakenings, realizations, revelations, your intuition being on point, and like feeling super psychic and intuitive, communicating with your angels, your spirit guides, your teachers. Also, Neptune and Jupiter will conjunct in April. And that's going to be really beautiful too. It's like a big blast, the last blast of the Pisces energy before we really start to like kind of let go of this Piscean age and enter into the age of Aquarius, which is going to be a completely different energy. The other thing is like there's two ways that this can go. You need to be careful not to be too gullible during this time. You need to be careful not to let people manipulate you. You need to be careful that what you're choosing as a spiritual teacher or whatever, like an actual person or a teaching, meaning that's a spiritual teacher too, you need to be careful that you're not being kind of manipulated and made to believe in an illusion, something that's not real, because that's what Pisces can also represent, is an illusion. So if you feel like you're living in an illusion, then you need to find the truth within the illusion. You need to like wake up from that dream or wake up from that nightmare and find the reality, find the practicality. And if you feel like you're not living in an illusion, if it feels right, if it feels, use your intuition to guide you as to what is the right thing to do, what are the right things to sign up for, to be involved in, all of those things. You're going to feel a little bit more like reclusive too. You're not going to feel too much like being out there. You're going to enjoy that internal space to be with yourself. But be careful that you're not being manipulated and swayed and made to believe something that's not true. Like keep that little Gemini mind asking questions. Everybody's got Gemini in their chart. Where do you have it? You have Mercury and Gemini. There you go. Like let your little Mercury and Gemini ask the questions. Ask all the questions needed to determine what's the reality of this, so you don't get lost in the abyss unnecessarily. All right. There we go. All right, Tanya, and then Joni. Let's check it out. That was a good one. I think it's going to be fun. I think you're already feeling it. I mean, I know you're already feeling it, but kind of big energy. That Pisces theme this year is a big, big deal. All right. We got Tanya, Joni, and then at the end, I'm gonna do Sandra's reading that we didn't do yet, which is an astrology reading. I live in a building. I live in in a college town, and so there's a lot of college kids that sometimes walk the hallways. Like it's pretty late right now. Like it's 9 p.m. But the kids, I call them the kids, like they go out, at this time, or sometimes they'll come back like at 11 p.m. or something like that, and they'll be so loud in the hallway. It like startles me because I'm like, I live in a cave. My house is a cave, but I like it. I like the young energy. It's fun. It reminds me of like, oh yeah, when I used to go out and like do kid things. When I used to like go out and actually like have fun out there in the world. I don't even want to be out there in the world anymore. I just want to be like safe in my little cave. Oh, I'm such a hermit. Yes, can you post it here, please? Thank you. I'm such a hermit. Such a hermit. All right. My Gemini? God, I ask so many questions. I have so many questions. Like, I can't handle like, and I also, I have a difficult time when people like fluff things up because I can feel the fluffiness, And it's like, what are you fluffing? Like, what's behind this like fluffing energy, Like, why the need to fluff, I'm so, in some ways, I'm like so practical. I'm like, it like takes away from, sometimes I can feel that it takes away a little bit from like the magic of things because, but that's just, that's a huge part of who I am. It's like, give me the details. Like the details will help me like figure it out for myself because that's always what I'm doing is trying to figure things out and find the truth in them, which is very Gemini, right? It's Orion energy. And it's like knowledge and truth and being connected to knowledge and truth. And so what is the importance, or what is like the power in that, is that you always ask the questions that lead you to the answers. But if you don't ask the questions that lead you to the center of the issue, then you'll never get to the center of the issue. So if there's too much fluff, I feel like it's static. Like if there's too much fluff, I'm like, so what's really going on here? Like it's like you're losing me over here. You're losing me because I need the details to help me figure out the bigger picture of what's going on. And so going to that, it's hard to do for some people. It's hard to do. Like it's hard to be real. That's one of the things I've been noticing is that there's a lot of people out there that say that they are, spiritual, and there's these spiritual communities. And what you start to notice is there's a lot of fluff, right? Like there's a lot of, this is amazing. This is amazing. Oh my God, it's so amazing. And there's not enough like realness. And that, to me, I have a hard time with that. There's moments where that is important to me. And like, I understand, Harmonia, we're waiting for your question. If you can post it, you might be doing that right now, but if you could post it here in the chat, please, and then we can do your reading. So basically, what we're doing when I feel that, I feel like we're running away from the truth. When there's too much fluff, I feel like we're like making things either bigger than they are, or running away from the truth. I feel like sometimes we do need that, right? We need that sense of like wildness and imagination. And I notice that like for myself with that Gemini energy is I ask the questions that like, people don't really like, they think they're irrelevant, but to me, they're like super relevant. I just think that's funny. I don't know what happened to Tanya. By the way, oh, there we go. There it is. What was I just going to say? Oh, I want to say thank you to everybody that's here and that is getting a reading tonight. I really appreciate it. So thank you so much. And here we are. What is coming towards me? 9:29, 7:7. Okay. So maybe we'll do a transit reading for you. You're welcome. Okay. And then Joni is next, so just so you know. We made it. We made it. Okay, it's okay. 29, 7, 7, 9, 13. Okay. Let me just take a look at what we got going on. Okay. So we'll do a transit reading for you, Tanya. Oh, I guess I should be doing that. Yeah, I always have people put it in the chat when I'm here. Okay, here we go. All right, so this is the transits that are happening right now for you. And so we're just going to talk about some of the things that are kind of significant. The first thing that I notice is that you actually have Moon in Taurus. And so with the North Node in Taurus, actually Uranus is also on your moon, and then it's also on your Chiron. So with the North Node there, you're going to feel the North Node transiting your 12th house. This year is going to feel quite powerful, kind of a spiritual awakening in a way, like super, kind of like the energy that I was talking about with Deepa, that Pisces energy. It's like the same thing because this is the 12th house. This is about focusing on this energy, focusing on healing your insecurity about feeling like you're worth it, like your self-worth is the biggest wound that you're learning to heal in this life. So finding your sense of security and sense of self-esteem and self-worth, finding things that make you feel good and secure. Focusing on that is going to help you get through the year. It's going to be things that you didn't expect though. With Uranus, it's like you if you thought it was going to be one way, it's going to be totally different. It's going to be found in a completely different place. Those are all things that are going to be kind of a theme that's going on all year for you, all like for the next 18 months. What you're focusing on letting go is focusing too much on the details. You want to allow yourself to have more of an expansive and boundless experience, to connect to your own divinity, to connect to your relationship with God or whatever you want to call it. You have to allow yourself, you have to let your mind expand a little bit more and let your intuition flow and trust. There's faith and trust involved here, but you have to let go of old, like, ways of habits and patterns of doing things in life. Like you need to change your routine. Your routine has to change, or otherwise you will get stuck in your old routines, especially if there's some kind of a habit or something that's just like not a good habit that brings, the negative expression of something in your life. That's really going to get you down. So if you're letting go of old habits and patterns, and routines and schedules, and the universe is going to ask you to let go of old schedules and patterns and come up with a whole new daily routine. And when you do that, you will open yourself up to the divine, which is where everything else is at in your 12th house. So it's kind of a big deal. Pisces is a big deal too this year. So Pisces is the cusp of your 11th house, which is the house of sharing your gifts. It's the house of your worldview. Neptune has been there, but Jupiter transiting through this point is actually kind of significant. It's expanding your worldview. Like maybe the way that you see things is changing, and maybe you're finding a little bit more of a deep kind of spiritual connection to how you see the world. Maybe you're having an experience where you see this in the collective, or you want to share yourself in this sort of in your unique magical ways with the world, and you want to share your gift of intuition with the world more, because Jupiter expands things. And so, with the Sun and Jupiter and Neptune all conjuncting in Pisces, you're going to feel like more of that, like give me more of that. And it's beautiful that the North Node is also in the 12th house of Pisces, because then it's an alignment to that energy. I've been really guided to change my routine with my extra work schedule. This all makes sense. Yeah. So those are the big themes that are going on. We're all going to feel much more intuitive, much more connected, because of all the Pisces energy that is going on. Let me see if there's anything else that stands out for me. Stands out to me. I think with Chiron conjuncting your South Node, you've been and you will be for the next few years, really working on healing your identity, your sense of who you are, asking yourself, who am I? Why am I here? What is my purpose? All of those things they're kind of in the background, like kind of nudging at you to heal your sense of self and to understand who you truly are. And that's another big theme that has been going on, but it will get stronger. You'll feel it stronger, because as Uranus continues to go into the higher degrees, you're going to feel that as well. Okay. So I think that's everything that's popping up for me in terms of the transits. You're going to have, so actually this is something else. In 12th and 6th house, that's the theme, because these are intercepted for you. That's the themes where you're going to feel all the eclipses this year. So South Node eclipse, North Node eclipses, they're all going to affect this aspect of your life, which is the theme of schedule, daily life, routines, your health. Watch your health. And then how do you expand and move into the spiritual expression and like merge with. Thank you, Tanya. So next we have Joni. Yeah, you get in your head a lot because you have a lot of Virgo energy. You have Venus and Mercury also in Virgo. So your mind wants to it's too much going on, and it's criticizing itself too much. You have to allow yourself to experience life. It's less criticism and more performance. Like just be, right? Just be yourself. Instead of thinking about being yourself or criticizing that you're not being yourself, or criticizing because you're not there yet. You could see where you should be and you're not there, and so it's frustrating. That's very Virgo energy. Very Virgo energy. All right, so let's see what we got here with waiting for Joni's question. I hope she didn't fall asleep. But we'll see what happens. All right, compatibility reading. Okay. Here we go. That's you. Okay, so 10:16:63, 5:38 p.m. Okay, got it. And then the second charge is 10:15. Adverb. Hartford. Okay. Let me make sure I got this right. 11:18:63, 10:15 p.m. Okay, go. Let's check it out. All right. Okay. So okay. I just want to see what you just want compatibility reading. Okay. So here we go. You have Sun in Libra and Moon in Libra. He's got Sun in Scorpio and Moon in Sag. So you've got air, and then he's got water and fire. Those are three very different elements. So you may feel because I think the Moon and your Sun and Moon, his Moon are kind of sextiling, so that can feel like a harmonious connection. So the fire feeds the air. The Scorpio, the reason why you feel connected deeply in Scorpio is because you also have a lot of Scorpio energy. So his Sun is conjunct your Mars, which is your drive. You're a very intense person. You've got those asteroids there, but Venus is also there, so you desire, and your drive are aligned, and you desire that energy of Scorpio. So that can feel like a very powerful connection there, like drawn, like a merging of energies. That can be really fun in terms of the connection. He's got Venus and Mars in Sagittarius, but again, so he's kind of wild. Like there's a very, very wild energy about him. He's kind of like a party animal in a way. He loves to have fun, and he may not always be ready to commit. His Scorpio energy helps him to find the commitment, to look for something that is gonna stick. But he tends to be really wild. And this could be really fun for you too, because Sagittarius can be kind of crazy and fun. But the Venus in Sagittarius, he desires freedom. The Mars in Sagittarius, the way that he gets his freedom is he just goes on adventures. So he's probably very impulsive in the sense of he'll just be like, let's go do this tomorrow, and it's like some huge experience, and you're like, whoa, and his Moon really likes it, and he likes it when things change, and he likes to change things up. You may be a little less open to so much intense, so much random stuff going on, but the intensity you like the intensity of it. You guys have the same nodal. axis. So North Node Cancer, South Node Capricorn, which means that you're both aligned. You're both working on the same thing in terms of destiny. Like you're both working on finding more nurturing, on nurturing yourself, on trusting your emotions, and you're letting go of focusing too much on being out there in the world. Like it's more about home and family for you guys this lifetime around. So having the same nodal axis makes it nice, because there's no like we're going in different directions in life. You're actually going kind of in the similar direction. You'd have to find out what houses his nodes are in that'll give you more insight for you. So home and family is super important to you, and it is to him too. And that can be where that beautiful connection lies. So let's see. So the sun, moon, in terms of the mind, you have Mercury in Libra. So you have a lot of Libra and you have a lot of Scorpio. He has a lot of Scorpio and a lot of Sag. So he's going to be much more wild and willing to just do things. You're going to have a little bit more of a hard time because you have to weigh the odds. You have to say, well, should we do this or should we do that? Or which one's better? Or I can't make up my mind yet. You have much more Libra energy, which slows things down because it needs to weigh the odds. He doesn't weigh the odds like that. He just wants to go and do things and explore them just for the point for the point of exploring them. So that's the difference. And then his mind is really wild too, and your mind is much more like maybe a little bit more grounded in like the trying to figure out what's the best thing in this moment for everybody. And he's like, let's just go, you know. So he has that kind of wild energy about him. You guys have Saturn in the same sign, which means that you're going to go through your Saturn returns together and all that stuff. And so in terms of like responsibility and taking responsibility, you do it in the same way, basically. Same thing with Chiron. So there's a lot of synchronicities here. There's a lot of conjunctions, which means you're going to feel like you understand each other really well. The big difference is the difference between that Sagittarius and the Libra. That's what's going to cause a little bit of the misalignment. He may get frustrated with waiting to make decisions. He can't do that. He's not able to do that. So if you allow yourself the adventure every once in a while, and then if he understands that you need to be able to weigh the odds, then it's going to make it easier for you to get along. But there's a lot of things that do get along. It's just a matter of like being aware of how and how to kind of navigate that energy. So awesome. I love it. And then we have one more reading, which I'm going to just put up on the screen and do real quick. Oh, I like it. On point. 8:18. One more astrology reading. 65. 10 p.m. And okay. 8:18, 65, 10 p.m. Okay. So let me just take a look at this in a second. And this is for Sandra. So she said astrology. Let me see what stands out the most to see what to focus on here. All right. Let's do a transit reading here. Okay. So here we go. Okay. So the biggest thing that I see happening is the Pisces energy that I've been talking about. You've got in the 12th house, you've got Saturn and Chiron in Pisces. So you're healing, in your life in general, you're doing a lot of spiritual healing. This is kind of part of your journey. You're understanding your relationship to God, and how to become your own teacher with Neptune there, and then now Jupiter coming in, and then the sun following right along. These things will be highlighted. So for the next couple of months, you're going to feel intense, like a spiritual activation or a spiritual awakening, or a lot of realizations, a lot of that boundless exploration of the infinite. Really beautiful energy here in your 12th house. And that's where all that Pisces is going on for you. Now, in terms of the Taurus energy, which has to do with the North Node and Uranus, you've got Uranus on your moon. You have moon in Taurus, so that's going to feel uncomfortable because it's asking you to feel differently, to change what you normally think is important and secure, what makes you feel secure. You have to change that. Uranus is asking you to find new ways of doing that. So that's uncomfortable because the change that Uranus brings discomfort. And that's you're feeling that very intensely right now. And it has to do with how much you value yourself, how much you... it has to do with finances, self-esteem, sense of self-worth and value. You need to find new ways of manifesting, new ways of finding abundance, new ways of feeling safe and secure. But this is the focus of the year. So this is where you're going to feel these energies the most, is in that second house of values, money, manifestation, and feeling that sense of security in your life. Let's see. This is the theme also of the eclipses for you. It's going to be very much second house and eighth house. So that means that the South Node transiting your eighth house is going to be a lot of, in the next 18 months, a lot of endings and new beginnings. So a lot of things that end because a lot of new things are beginning are manifesting. So you're going to have to go through that shamanic death ritual over and over to allow the new manifestations to take place. And that's where you're going to feel the eclipses. And so these themes of like what you create and what you manifest, and then what is your ancestry as well, like connections to ancestors. Healing ancestral wounds is also a big part of the eighth house. Accepting where you come from, understanding where you come from is a big deal. And also letting go to make space for new things, letting go of old patterns, letting go of old stories to make space for new. So it's going to be kind of a wild ride this year for you. The full moon that we're having next week is actually going to be on your sun. So that's going to be like, woo, really big, really big. You're going to feel like really intense next week. And it's going to feel like your soul is coming alive again. That full moon in Leo is going to be like, you're going to like take a big breath and like find your power again, find your sense of belonging, find your passion, find your creativity, because all of this is in your fifth house of passion and creativity. So next week is a big week. You're probably feeling that kind of buildup already in your life. There's a lot going on in Capricorn for you. So career, business partnerships, how you show up in the world, and how your life path. Big decisions. What do I need to let go of? Boundaries, making boundaries so you make space for that, letting go of relationships that hold you back from that. All of that has been going on this year and will continue until the planets that are here are going to move out, of Aquarius. So it's still going, and it's going to be a while, because at least another, I think, 2 years until Pluto officially enters Aquarius and leaves Capricorn. So that's actually a big theme that's going on for you as well. And those are really the things that are kind of coming up big time for me right now. So I hope that kind of give you a little bit of insight into the energies that are coming. So thank you, Sandra, and thank you, everybody, so much. I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your weekend. You have a good weekend, it's just starting, but have a beautiful weekend. And I'll see you, the Moon Goddesses, tomorrow, bright and early. And I'll be back here on the channel on Monday. And remember, next week is a full moon week. And also make sure to check out, I'm doing a clearance sale for my Starseed Essential Oil line on my Etsy shop. All the Starseed Essential Oils are half off. the rollers and the aura mists. So this is the time to get them. And I'm going to be putting in some new items into the shop in the next couple of weeks. So thank you again. And I'll see you guys next week. Sat Nam. Sat Nam.